Welcome back to the That's My Time podcast. I'm here with Mike Skittle. I am John Kirshner, and this is episode
48, baby.
48. Let's get this shit cracking. We got a lot to talk about.
We do have
baby
a lot
boy.
to talk about.
A lot to talk about, baby boy.
Oh, man. I'm about to play the song.
If you could just get this
I had
cracking.
to share the video. Now I'm about to play the song.
Play the
Baby,
song
that's my
now.
time. Here we go. What?
How you doing, mother? Welcome to That's My Time podcast. It is a muggy October day, October 14th,
beautiful out.
2022.
Today's the 13th.
Today's the 13th. Today's the 13th.
Baby. October 13th. We're closing
Yankees,
in.
the Yankees play tonight.
We're closing in on Halloween. Can't wait. Having a Halloween party. You going to come?
Are you just inviting me now to a Halloween party?
It's in a couple weeks.
Yeah, but how long have you had it planned?
The beginning of the month? 2 weeks?
How am I not, like, right away, one of the texts, like, yo, I'm having a Halloween party. I know you're busy.
Because we all have...
I know you're mad busy all the time.
We all have the same friends. So come, I'm inviting you now. You got 2 weeks.
Seems like a
I would
week later
hey,
invite.
Listen, if I didn't want you there,
wait, you know what
I
you
wouldn't
just did?
invite you.
You just invited everybody.
What do you mean? Nobody knows where I live.
Come by Mike's apartment in Asbury Park.
Come on out, dude. But you got to dress up.
Where should I be?
That's the beauty of it. It's a Halloween party. You got to pick. What do you want to be for Halloween? You want to be a Yankee? You want to be
Ooh.
Don Mattingly?
Can I be a Yankee?
Yeah, you'll be the only 40-something-year-old Yankee player at this party.
I'll probably be the only 40-something-year-old.
You'll be the only one at this party who should be retired if they were a baseball player.
I'm like old as far as sports is concerned. I'm old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like middle-aged, I guess, in sports. No,
No, how old are you?
I'm 30.
No, you're at your peak.
It's weird to say.
You're at your peak.
I'm at my peak. I better
you
get
were a
to
pitcher.
the fucking gym then. You know what happened to me at my peak? I told you.
Whoa.
I don't even want to really say, but I'm going to say what happened to me.
Okay.
So I've been doing yoga again.
Okay.
I've been doing yoga and I've been feeling nice and like loose and ready to go. Like I feel like in shape, right?
Who's doing these classes?
Last week. I'm watching it on YouTube and doing it in my room. I get baked in my room, and I watch yoga on the TV, and I got a little mat that I'd use, and my cat looks at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But, so I've been feeling okay, but I was like really loose, like my joints, my back. I was a little sick last week. I'm walking to the show in Red Bank, right? I step off a curb, and mid-step, I sneeze, completely fucking throw my back out. Completely throw my back out.
At 30 years old.
At 30 years old. And, dude, 2 days, I like couldn't even bend over. It hurt so fucking bad.
Yeah, that's the worst is coming up after a bend down after when you hurt your back.
It's the worst. And then the same shit. And then something similar happened to you
Yeah, it was
at the Fifth Borough Comedy Festival.
At the opening night of the festival, Mike. It was Wednesday. It was a nice night. I think it was nice.
Yeah, it was.
I was opening it. We were opening up at Big Nose Skates. Shout out Big Nose Skates. They every year since the COVID, they've helped us out. Since the COVID. I took a COVID test today. All right, so I was on a stool, and the stool came out from underneath me, and I landed on the stool. Broke a rib. I think it's broke. It could be broken or definitely bruised. I still can't breathe.
Were you more in pain or more embarrassed?
I was more upset. I wasn't embarrassed. It was only me and Nick Cara that was setting up the show. Yeah. It was only me and him.
So,
there.
like, none of the bartenders or waitstaff saw you?
No one else seen.
Oh, man. I felt like that in study hall in 7th grade, and everybody saw off a chair because I was being a fucking idiot.
Study hall?
Yeah, study hall. I had a lot of those. What
is that when you're a bad kid? They put you in study hall?
No, study hall is just like where you go to do extra work. You don't have to take a class that
that period.
Yeah. I would never do the work there either. I would just fuck around.
You know how I know that's not a good thing?
What?
Because my son was in study hall every year. My son was
You're
the only one
supposed to have at least one, I think, in some schools.
I think my son failed study hall.
That's impossible. You don't get a grade. You don't get a grade in study hall, silly. Was your son one of those kids who failed gym because they wouldn't change?
I'm not sure what he did in gym. I never got reports from gym.
I had one friend who would never change during gym class, and he was failing gym. And he was like, I was like, why won't you change in gym? He was like, "Oh, I had a bad experience," and I thought something terrible happened. Like he got fucking something happened.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And he was my close friend, so I asked him. I was like, what do you mean? What happened? He was like, one time I was changing and my dick came out of my pants. Everybody saw. I was like, that's not a bad experience. Like a bad experience is going to be this summer when you have to take the fucking gym class the whole summer.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bad experience.
Imagine gym class for summer school. What rejects are in there? Just the girls who smoke
and wear pajama pants. Every day.
I'm not wearing that shirt. It's like the high school shirt.
You had a lot of kids who wore pajama pants in your school.
Oh hell yeah!
So did
it was
I.
Pajama pants.
They were the biggest pieces of shit, and I see them now at Wawa, and you only see them at Wawa walking around, people in pajama pants at Wawa, and it's the only place where it's okay.
You know, for the first time on this podcast, we're talking about a joke that I have, right?
I had a joke about that too.
And as we're talking, I thought of like you gave me a fucking a good part of that joke.
I'm very funny and smart.
Yeah, because you asked me in my high school, did we have pajama day? Like every day was pajama day. So that's like that's where. See, that's joke writing. Sometimes you have to, but I got to write it down.
Yeah, write that down. Write that down.
I don't. Where do you put jokes?
So you're coming. You can't come to this party.
Oh, when is the party, Mike?
You can't. I don't remember. I'm not going to say it on the podcast because you bugged me out.
Just like a Ouija board.
I actually don't remember the date. I think it's this one.
Do you like a Ouija
I think it's
board?
this one.
Oh, it's a bad day. I got a wedding.
Oh, it's not written in there. Looks pretty blank. Sounds like you're full of shit. Anyway,
I have a wedding.
If you do decide to come and these people decide not to get married.
Yeah.
Which is very possible these days.
Not really. They're already. They've been married.
They've been married and they're getting remarried?
They just did. This is the reception. They did a little wedding.
So this is a party you're just going to on the 22nd?
No, it's a wedding.
Duck out early. I just said the date. Come to the party. But you have to dress up. What are you going to dress up as?
Last year, I went to a, believe it or not, I went to a Halloween party.
And what'd you dress up like?
I was George Costanza.
That's good.
I shaved up my head, the whole middle, like with a bic, like this.
Oh
whole middle.
man! So you basically just did what it would have normally looked like, what it would look like if it grew in.
Grew out, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, was it weird?
Yeah, it felt weird.
It did feel weird.
And I didn't know enough George Costanza quotes to really last through this party. A girl caught me looking at my phone, and I'm like,
"Oh no, you Googled quotes?"
Yeah, I was Googling quotes throughout the night.
But you don't even know how he's saying them.
Of course I do. It's George Costanza. It's George Costanza.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Do you know the story? I was told while I was at work, again, another Halloween party that I got invited to last minute. I was told at work that day, and I'm like, oh, I'd like to
get invited to a lot of Halloween parties. You gave me shit.
I'm like, I've never dressed up as an adult, but I'd like to come. I've always wanted to do George Costanza, and my hair was growing in at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't cut it in a while. So I actually had some hair there. So I'm like, I got to stop at Kohl's on my way home, get some George Costanza type clothes, and then head straight out to the party. But instead, I came home first, and I looked at my closet real quick, and I'm like, I got plenty of George Costanza clothes, which is the worst thing that could happen to you.
Yeah, that's
you look in your own
bad.
closet and see clothes George Costanza would wear.
I've seen his attire.
I don't have a good attire, so I was looking up quotes, George Costanza quotes.
The first time I went to a Halloween party was also the first time I got drunk with like a few of my friends, and I dressed up like Elvis, but I was kind of chubby at the time. But I was wearing like a black leather shirt, leather pants. I sprayed my hair black.
Fat Elvis.
So like I was pretty much Fat Elvis, but in a leather suit. So I went to this party and I got so fucking drunk. It was like one of the first times I got drunk. And you know, like when you first start drinking, you wake up the next morning and you're kind of playing it in your head and you're like, oh my God, like I did all that. Like what an asshole. I'm such an asshole.
Yeah.
I had that feeling in a complete leather outfit the next day. So it made it so much worse.
It's hard to laugh.
It made it so much worse. I was fucking standing there like sweaty. The dye was running down my face. We're all waiting to get bagels. And the shirt was my dad's, so it was kind of big on me. So I was standing in the bagel store like I must have looked like a fucking idiot.
What an idiot.
Oh, and this is the shit I think about before I go to sleep. Shit like that.
I'm surprised you wake up every time.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
I just thought about another Halloween party I went to.
Yeah?
That night, on the way to the Halloween party, I was in the car with the boys, and I got a phone call from another friend. And that friend, my friend Anthony calls me and says, John, are you sitting right now? I got bad news. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, your girlfriend's here in this bar that I'm at. She's just going at it with this guy. I'm like, what? So my girlfriend, John's mother at the time, was in a bar as I was on my way out to a Halloween party. She was in a bar making out with a guy. and my friend caught her. And I go, are you sure it's her? And he goes, want me to go up to her? I'm like, yeah, fucking go up to her. He goes up to her and goes, hey, Natalie? And she goes, yeah, what do you want? Like, yo, John, it's definitely her. It's definitely her. And that's how I found out that my son's mother cheated on me.
Man.
That night was I had one goal. What was my goal?
To get some pussy. And did it happen?
I did hook up.
Where?
I did hook up.
You
in
did?
Joey's in Clifton. Why the fuck do I remember that?
Wow.
Joey's in Clifton.
What
Joey
was his name?
Oh! Donnie, come on. You know it was
Donnie,
a
you
girl.
like that, Donnie?
Yeah, it was
no?
a girl. No. Yeah.
It was a girl.
We and believe it or not, that night that I did that, the girls that me and my friends like hooked up with that night, we became really good friends for years. Like,
Oh, that's good.
they come to our weddings.
So was
Like-
it worth your girlfriend cheating on you for it?
Oh yeah, well I needed her to cheat on me. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You dodged the bullet. You always dodge a bullet when someone cheats.
Yeah, you know. But as soon as I found out, I'm like, it's go time, boys. Because I just had a kid. It was like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
That you brought the mood down a little bit, and I feel bad for you.
Hey, it's an old story I forgot.
It was good. That's a
all
good
about that
story.
story. Forgot all about
You
it.
definitely make that funny.
Yeah. No, hold on.
Yeah, write that down.
You can't make me laugh because it hurts. Oh, that should be a goal. No, don't do that. Don't do. No. It's bad. My fucking
Your ribs, my back, we're all fucked
Man,
up.
we're all fucked up. And it's the weather. The weather. You know.
Yeah, it's so nice out right
You remember it rained for a week?
When? This whole week was a
Couple
fucking.
weeks
There was
ago.
a hurricane, dude. There's a hurricane in
Couple weeks
Florida.
ago.
Do you know when I lived in Florida? Not one hurricane when I lived out there.
Not one.
Soon as I moved back, Katrina.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
that.
wait. Not
No,
Katrina.
Katrina
Katrina
was,
was in
New
Yeah,
Orleans.
Katrina was like a fucking.
New Orleans.
What was the one that was here that was really bad? Sandy.
Oh, I'm high.
Sandy, not Katrina.
I'm really this microphone. I've never looked at it like this before.
It was looking
very
like
intricate.
a dick, right?
My wife got me that for like a Christmas gift, and
And you're finally
I'm like,
using
when would
it.
I ever use it? And she's like, when you have a nice, successful podcast. I'm like,
Yeah.
soon enough.
Does she hate that we're down here doing this right now?
Today, a little bit.
Really?
Today, definitely a little bit. dude.
Why?
Yeah.
When I saw her, she didn't look at me like she usually does.
She didn't have a twinkle in her eye.
She didn't have a twinkle in her eye.
Well, we just got over the 12-year hump. We're
Hey,
married 12 years. We went out
congratulations.
to eat last night at Joe Rogan's place.
Joe Rogan's place.
Oh, God. I take a picture. My wife says, I heard of this really good restaurant that's close to us. I said, all right, let's go to it. She goes, a lot of like celebrities go there and stuff. They love the place. I'm like, all right, let's go there. I take a picture of my wife while we're at this restaurant. My beautiful bride. I'm taking a picture of my beautiful bride. And the menu's in the fucking picture. And right away, 15 people. That place is great, Joe Rogan said. Joe Rogan. Everyone's messaging me.
Really?
Joe Rogan apparently went to this place.
It's a steakhouse?
I don't got to say the name of
Joe
it.
Rogan knows his meat.
Oh, we got the pork chop. Pork chop was the size of you.
Of me?
Oh, it was you.
Ooh.
And it was a little red. So
Was it expensive there?
oddly enough,
Yeah?
not that expensive.
No?
Let's say, you're out with your woman.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
whining. You're dining. You got a mob guy sitting across from you, definitely. He looked at me like,
You hear about this place on Rogan?
no, dude, I think as soon as he sat down, I think he told the woman he was with, he's like, definitely listen to me. Because my wife was a detective, and I looked like a detective.
yeah.
We looked like a couple of detectives out in a
You
restaurant.
do, yeah.
So as soon as we got all the information, we gave it into the feds. This guy's going down.
Imagine if you just keep seeing him at the dinner table going, to his wife. We don't talk about, not. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? We got a spit take. I didn't even think it was that funny. Oh, I can't believe you just did that.
I can't believe. Oh man.
Wow, that must have hurt too with your ribs and all.
It's killing me, but I'm on a lot of drugs. I'm on drugs. So. Woo! All right.
Nice. You all right?
I'm fine. Now.
Took yourself a little shower?
Oh, it was good, Mike. Now, what did you say? What were you saying?
The joke that you laughed at?
Oh,
You
the-
spit? You don't
the-
even fucking remember?
The Italian guys go. Okay.
You know what? Truck.
Stop.
Wow.
Wow.
You actually hugged that
Yeah, I thought I was gonna throw
You
up.
you hugged that trash bin like you do
I'm on a good- I'm
like
on
you
a
do
good-
almost every other morning. Hey, what do you want to do?
I think I broke it further. I'm not in a good way right now.
No, what's the matter?
I also woke up with that.
Is it just your ribs and you don't?
scratchy throat?
It's just your ribs. You don't feel right. You feel a little sick.
No, I don't feel sick.
You
I
feel a
just
little like poo poo.
I woke up feeling like garbage, so I took the oxcleosis.
What's oxcoliosis?
Ascleiosis.
I don't know what the fuck.
It's that
is.
it's that medicine. It's like a whole bunch of little dots. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know what it is, dude.
Oxcleosis.
Occluosis. What is it for?
If you feel like you have a cold coming on, you pop a couple of those.
Oh my god, my family used to say that about zinc.
If you feel cold coming on, Michael,
Take a little bit of zinc.
take a little bit of zinc.
Yeah, no one told me not to take it on an empty stomach. Don't take it on an empty stomach because it makes
Yeah.
you fucking puke. And I got off the bus at school and I was puking violently, and
From the
a bunch of
medicine?
people. I went to the nurse's office after because I didn't feel well anyway, and I was like, nobody saw. And I was at the nurse's office, and the girl was like, there was this girl in there. I forget her name. She was like in my school, and she was like, y'all better send his ass home. She was like, I saw him puking outside.
Oh shit.
She was Southern. She was from the South.
Remember the throw of vomit
The
in
throw of
school? The throw of vomit? Wow. The smell?
of
What?
vomit. The smell of vomit in a school. I remember.
Yeah, remember
But you
the
know where I always used to throw up, no matter what. If I felt sick, if I didn't feel sick, bro.
what? Where was
Chuck E. Cheese, dog. I
Ew.
would puke at Chuck E.
Ew,
Cheese.
you
I
hate
would.
your family
I would ruin so many birthday parties. They stopped fucking inviting me. And you remember the powder they had, the puke powder? You know what that is?
I know the puke powder, but they used to use sawdust when I was little.
No, yeah, they used real life puke powder in
Ooh.
my day.
It
They
absorbs it
sprinkle it
nice.
on, and it was just clumps, and they just
Ooh.
sweep it up into
Oh,
a
and the clumps
into
clump
a
up,
little
and
thing.
It's disgusting.
yeah. The puke powder, dude. They saw me coming. There's pictures of me at every Discovery Zone and Chuck E. Cheese. I remember because like the party rooms have the big windows.
Yeah.
I remember sitting at the table by myself. The cake just came out. It's a full cake with peanut. It was peanut butter and chocolate cake,
I
right?
feel it coming.
And I remember sitting there, all the workers around me pushing fucking brooms and little mops. I just puked everywhere. And all of my friends staring at me from that fucking window, watching me. With them pushing, I felt like a fucking experiment. Like everybody was just surveying me.
Yeah, I used to have a window too at my daughter's swim school.
Yeah.
There was a window where you watch the kids.
Yeah.
And then the one time they said, "All right, it's Parents' Day," and I had my shorts on. One parent gets to swim with the kid in the pool, and I was swimming with my daughter in the pool. And I just seen people looking at me through the glass. Like every time I got out of the pool, it's like, they look at me. And I see this one old lady
It's
actually.
like a manatee at the aquarium just came and beached itself.
Yeah. I actually seen this one old lady look over at her husband. And I go,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would you knock on the window like, hey, bitch? Just get real mad at her.
That was a weird day. Because I didn't go to the swim school a lot, so I didn't know the people there.
Oh, so they're like, who's this?
My wife would always bring her.
They were like, who's this convict in the pool with our kids?
It was probably a Friday, so it looked like the dad had the kid for the weekend.
Yeah.
Whenever you see dads with their daughters, that means that they have no other choice. Yeah, they have them for the weekends.
Oh, wow.
You see that a lot at schools when you're picking up your kid from school. Just maybe you'll notice this one day. At the end of the month, or usually Fridays, but mostly the end of the month, because that's when the real bad dads get their kids once a month, but the good dads get them every week. So once in a while, if you're out there and you're by a school, which you shouldn't be if you don't, unless you have a kid in the school,
Right.
take a look around, and notice there's more dads picking up their kids
Towards the end of the month?
the last Friday of the month or every Friday.
Is
There's
this
always
something
more
you've
dads.
noticed?
Oh yeah, my whole life.
You've noticed at the school? That's so funny.
Yeah,
I've never
because
noticed
they
that.
have their kids on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yep.
My dad,
I've
yeah,
always
that's
noticed
actually
that.
true because
Yeah.
my dad would pick us up on Fridays sometimes and we'd spend
And
the
we'll
weekend
drop
at
you
his
off
place.
for Friday like an hour later.
Yeah. No, he would drop me off on like Sunday.
Did
We
you-
would meet at Barnes & Noble. We had a meat spot.
Did you ever feel like you were a burden at one point? Like that your dad had plans maybe? I know you felt like a burden your whole life, but I'm
I
saying.
felt, yeah, pretty much my entire life I felt like a burden.
But like, was your father ever pissed while he had you? Like, fuck you.
No, he would leave if he had plans. He wouldn't really, though. Like, if he knew he was hanging out with us, he would have plans with us. I lived with him, though. So, like, I wouldn't see him. I lived with him all the time. But when
Yeah.
my sisters came around,
Yeah.
he would he would always have plans. Like
Oh,
when my
he-
sisters would come over on the weekends, we'd always do shit.
Okay.
But like if it wasn't a weekend, he had them. I would just go out with my
Yeah.
friends, or we would all hang.
Yeah.
Was your dad pissed when he got you sometimes?
Well, they were never divorced. My
Your parents were never divorced?
Never. No.
Never, but they were separated.
Oh, at one point, yeah, because my dad made the house a crack house. You have to leave at that point.
Yeah.
My mom was like, most women are like, if he hits me one more time, I'm out. He talks me down to me one more time, I'm out. My mom was like, if he makes the last room in our house also part of the crack house, I'm out. But my house was a fucking crack house. That was weird. That's when we did leave. And I lived with my mom. I was old. I was 18 or 19. I feel like I'm just talking to a guy checking his watch
I'm
after he won a marathon.
Well, no, my watch said something was up with the live, but it looks like it's fine.
You know when someone wins a marathon and right away they press the button?
Yeah.
You notice that too.
Yeah.
Start noticing that.
I do that at the gym with my watch if I'm ever on the treadmill.
Why?
I'll start it because it tells you how far you went, it tells you how many calories you burned. I close the rings. You got to close your rings on the iWatch. On the iWatch, the Apple Watch.
Is it the Olympic rings?
No, it's.
They would need to get
There's
clearance
a green
from the
ring.
Olympics.
There's a blue ring for
Oh.
any. If you have an Apple Watch, there's a blue ring. 12 hours you're supposed to stand a day, right?
All right.
That one I close every day.
I failed that one today and yesterday.
The green ring is the exercise ring. It's how active you are during the day. You're supposed to be active for 30 minutes. Mine's closed already because I'm the man.
You're a gifted athlete.
And then there's the red one, and the red one's how many calories you burn. You set that to whatever you want. You could set all of them, Dad, whatever you want. But you're supposed to stand 12 hours
Let
a
me
day.
see this new tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mike got some new ink.
Yeah, my
New
sister
ink.
does tattoos. She did this whole arm, pretty much.
Yeah.
Couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
sick shirts, that's right.
We have, this is the new Fifth Borough Comedy Festival shirt.
Yeah, I love that shirt. It's good. And this is the old one.
This is
What?
this year's.
What
That
year is this one?
That is the second year.
This is the second. Use the best shirt.
Second year, best shirt.
This one and that one. I love
best
them.
shirt. I have first year right there.
You have the first year shirt? I'll keep them entertained. I gotcha. I could do it. You guys ever driving and you get cut off? Don't you hate when that happens? Oh yeah, I fucking hate my life and myself. I'm gonna cut. You looked at the shirt like you saw it.
No, I was sure.
Like you saw it and it was easy to get.
Yeah, I thought it was. That's why I'm gonna give up now.
Oh, you're giving up. All right, cool. All right.
The first year shirt is just the logo, just our logo.
Just the logo, yeah. I remember the shirt. I think you wore it recently.
No, that was
Look
it.
at all these shirts, man. What is this?
Oh,
So
last
next
year's
year's
shirt is
next
right
year's
there.
the 5th year?
Next year's the 6th year.
Next year's the 6th year. Oh wow, holy shit.
This is last year's shirt.
You guys got to get hoodies made.
There's a reason why I'm doing all this. Here's the last year's shirt. That's the second year shirt. The first year shirt is just the emblem. This is this year's shirt. And during COVID, we had masks. That was creative.
Oh, I remember
for us.
that. I remember that. There's masks
So-
for everything. Where do you think all those masks are? There were so many
I
masks.
wiped my asshole with with some masks during the
Did
mask
you?
days.
I've always thought about that. If I ever needed to, I'm like, I'm wiping with the mask.
I wiped my butthole with it. Yeah.
Which one? Like a cloth one or a disposable
No, disposable
paper?
one. The inside part.
The cloth
it's a
ones
nice
would
wipe.
probably feel so much better.
Yeah, but then that's a one. Then you're ruining that mask. Who cares anyway?
I mean, if you're wiping with the mask, you're definitely never going to wear it again. Correct? Or
no.
incorrect?
Well, if you have a cloth, how many cloth masks did you have?
Can you imagine if we had to wear those fucking things again? How annoying that would be.
I took a COVID test today, Mike.
I know you said it a couple times. Negative, hopefully.
No, it's fine. Yeah, negative. Yeah, because
Negative.
I had some things going on.
Me too, dude. Me too.
It was a long week at the festival, and we have one more show. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night
Where at?
at Mexican Cantina.
Ah, that's right. The cantina.
If you want to come, too bad. It's sold out, baby.
Sold out?
Yeah, you can still sit at the bar.
I'm in Neptune, and that's sold out as well.
Whoa.
Hey,
I see a
it's the
trend.
podcast. It's the podcast.
podcast,
Hey, we're fucking gonna make it.
That's Kursh. That's
fucking
Kursh.
hate
That's
myself.
cool. Imagine like if like say some real listeners never watched us and they just listen to us.
Yeah.
And they just know that posted like, and they think they say us like, is that John or Mike? We don't know. I don't know what that didn't make any sense.
It didn't, but we're gonna move past it and pretend it didn't happen.
So tomorrow night, if
What-
you want to come to Mexican Cantina on Victor Boulevard,
You can't.
you can come. There's probably spots at the bar, but even funner,
Even more
You're
fun.
hanging outside.
Funner
you
isn't a
still
word.
hear the show and see the show from outside, and we'll be selling shirts. I'll be selling the shirts. That's what I was.
Oh, good call. Yeah,
with the whole
they
thing.
are cool. The
Selling-
new ones. The new ones are really
not many
really
left
cool.
of the new ones. We have last year's and this year's. Not many left. So come grab a shirt if you want, or DM me and I'll put a shirt aside if you want one. They are $20 US. That was like a
Wow.
commercial for festival shirts.
Yeah, they're coming.
But they really keep us. They keep us afloat.
Yeah, of course, they're cool.
They keep us afloat.
How you gonna outdo this one? You got to do some hoodies.
I made this design and that design, with the help of the boys. I put the input in there, and people put put this here. You know, what were you saying?
I didn't say anything.
You
I'm
asked
trying to
something
figure out
before.
what I should be for Halloween for this party.
Oh, for your own party at your house? Be
Yeah.
the landlord.
I gave away a really good idea.
What's that?
I said my roommate should wear a robe. That way you just have a robe and you get to chill the whole night in the robe, and then get a blow-up doll and put the blow-up doll on your hip and spray paint your hair gray and go as Hugh Hefner. That way you get a twofer. You get a solid robe that you now have. You get a doll that you could fuck.
You know why I'm throwing off a little with that
Why?
that suggestion? It's because it's definitely
Tacky?
already a Hugh Hefner costume. You
Of
know?
course, but how many
But why
fucking
the
jokers?
blow-up doll?
How many jokers? Because it's a playmate.
Why don't
It's
you
a playmate.
why
It's
don't you work the party? Work the party. Maybe you could have real life ones. How do you do at parties? You hook up?
It depends. It depends who's
If
there.
they're at your house,
It depends who's there.
that means the girl already knows where you live.
So
If you hooked up with a girl back in the day and you went back to your house, did you always go straight to your house, or did you make a little detour so she couldn't remember where you're
I
going?
usually went straight. I didn't think anyone would want to hang out with me after
Again,
that. Yeah,
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did only one time because a woman just showed up at my house one time. I say woman because she was
Well,
an
your
older woman.
house or your mom's house?
My mom's.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so weird.
She just showed up.
you told me this story. It's a
Yeah,
funny
no,
one.
Very, very, very.
Tell it again.
Well, the story part of it is not the time she pulled up to the house. It's the time she called my house. I met a woman, an older woman.
How much older than you?
She must have been in her 50s. I was in my 20s.
Ooh,
Yeah.
30 years
She was there
older.
scouting. This is the story where my friend's nephew met the same
Just
woman.
tell it. Just tell it.
So I met a woman in a bar. She ripped me out of this bar. She kidnapped me, put me in her minivan. Smelled like matted Skittles. If you can
Ooh,
get that.
matted Skittles.
Matted Skittles. You remember minivans in the
Mix of her
80s?
perfume and vacuum.
In the 80s, if you had friends whose parents had minivans, they all smelt the same. Just like matted
Yeah.
food,
Yeah,
Skittles
I guess,
into the
yeah.
carpet.
That's so
And it's
gross.
going to make sense for so many people. It's going to make sense for so many
Skittles smell good though. I think.
people. Mike?
Dude,
Yeah, I think it's the
Dude.
weed.
I think it's the weed. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
I think it's the weed.
All right, so I'm going to try to make this short. I give her my number, the woman. I'm living with my mother and her boyfriend at the time. The woman calls my house because the cell phones weren't huge yet. Woman calls my house, gets my mother. My mother's boyfriend, his name is John, by the way. My mother answers
So weird.
and goes, "Can I help you?" And the woman goes, "I'm looking for John." And my mother, not thinking it's me because I'm a
she's
20-year-old.
How could he ever get any pussy?
She goes, "John who?" And the lady goes, "John that I met at a bar." And my mother's like, "My son don't go to bars. You met my fucking boyfriend at a bar?" And starts yelling at the woman. And that's why the woman came to my house.
And she still showed up to your house.
My mother yelled at my mother and my mother's boyfriend were fighting for like a few days. I didn't know what they were fighting about until I overheard it. I go, "Wait, Mom, that's me. Kathy called?" You know?
Oh my god, were you laughing?
I was laughing, yeah, a little bit.
Were they pissed?
They were pissed, yeah. He's like, "I did not go to a bar, yo," like yelling at it. Like it was pretty bad. But I never hung out with Kathy again. I did see her again. She pulled up in the minivan.
Did you bang her?
No, I banged her one night. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, that was.
50s. Hey, good for you. She
And-
was like, probably like, I got this young stud.
And the funniest part about that whole,
He's married, of course. Meanwhile,
yeah,
mom and stepdad.
yeah, she's like, "Wow, he's really freaky." The funniest part about that whole story is like 10 years later, my friend's younger cousin hooked up with the same woman.
Oh man,
Yeah, he was explaining the woman.
she
to
was
him.
a shark.
Yeah.
Looking for that young
You
dong.
Be careful in those bars, young bucks. These
Them's
women,
deep waters.
They're on a prowl. Like, she reminded me of this chick, Claire Ginsburg, that we all know.
Claire.
Claire would do
Who
that
doesn't
shit.
love Claire. I thought she died.
That was fake. She faked her own death.
She faked her own death.
I think
That
she owed money to
fucking
some other comic.
bitch.
Yeah, shout out to Claire Ginsberg.
Claire Ginsberg says, I like to model next to your shirt. I'm one hell of a sexy chick and could bring in the clientele you guys want. Thanks, Claire.
Thanks, Claire.
Where are you going to be? What do you got coming up?
Bunch of stuff coming up. You didn't see my cool poster where I look like Michael Jordan?
I did see it. I liked it.
Tomorrow night, we're going to be at Mexican Cantina. You can come hang out. We could probably get you in there, even though all the tables are sold out. What happened?
My phone just died.
Your phone died.
That's all right. I know my dates.
And then on Wednesday, October 19th, I'm in Tom's River at Battle River Brewery. On Friday, we're going to be in
Cliffwood.
In Cliffwood Beach, Keyport. It's sold out, but if you know me or Mike well and you want to just come chill, you can come sit with us. And then on the 25th, I'm at Sweet in Brooklyn. I'm not sure what kind of place it is. It's called Sweet. And on the 28th, I'm at Black Betty's, roasting my friend Dave Hodge. I say Black Betty's because I don't want my wife to hear.
It's a strip club?
Well, not really. Go bar. And on the 29th, I'm at the Dojo with Mike Ciccoli. And that's October.
All right. I know my dates. What? This is how a professional does. I know my dates by heart. Ready?
Well, you only have two. So
no, I don't.
It's a joke, Mike.
I have a lot. Ready? October 14th, I'm in Neptune City at the American Legion. That show sold out. It's with Sean Morton. October 19th, I'm with Vinny Brand at Stage House in Mountainside, New Jersey.
The
21st, I'm with Kirshner at the Cliffwood Community Center in Cliffwood, New Jersey.
Also with us, Alex Grubard.
Alex Grubard, who's on the podcast.
And Rich. Why am I drawing a blank? Yeah. Rich Anthony.
Ralph Anthony?
Ralph Anthony.
Oh, I didn't know Ralph was doing that.
He's going to come by.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
nice. All right,
he's gonna
cool.
come by.
I have one on the 24th that I don't remember.
I thought you remembered. But it's a Monday. Who cares?
Oh, no, I don't have one on the 24th then. So Stage House. The 29th, I'm at the Dojo with Kursh. And then the 5th, I'm in November 5th, I'm in North Jersey somewhere. Fuck, why can't I remember what it is? I'll say it on the next one. We're going to do a podcast.
He's going to post it on his
I actually have all my dates posted on my
page,
Instagram, which is at the Mike Ciccoli. Kursh, what's your Instagram?
At the Kursh. And this has been the That's My Time podcast. And since we don't have the song queued up, she's out there right now. You think she'd remember the song? Unlock the door and ask her. Unlock the door and ask her.
Live performance. Should I help her bring in the piano?
Yeah.
Is it plugged into anything? Am I gonna have to unplug it?
Oh, it's got to be plugged in. Just open it and just get it. She could put it full blast. Maybe we can hear it. Emma, do you remember the song for the podcast? I put it as loud as you can and play something. Play any song. Just take us out, baby. No, tell her to play anything. We need something.
Play anything. That's beautiful.
And that's My Time podcast, episode 48. Have a good one, people.